It's been almost a year that Sheena Bora murder case came to light. It was 1st August last year when the sensational case came to media light after Sheena's murder in 2012. This was the first time that public got to know how media tycoon Indrani and Peter Mukherjea were questioned and how they might have been involved in the murder. But now, as the case proceeds, it's been a year. You already have many questions being raised, 20 tapes which have come out in the public domain, conversations spanning over 100 minutes where Rahul, Sheena's then fiancé, has questioned Indrani and Peter, smelling something is foul after Sheena's disappearance on April 24th, 2012. And now, as the tapes come out, India Today has been able to reach out to Indrani's daughter, Vidhie, Peter's stepdaughter. And she has come out with this statement where categorically in defense of her father, Peter Mukherjea, she has said, "My father did not know about the murder of Sheena Bora. If so, he would not have stayed with my mother. She would have been convicted in 2012 itself. He would not have lived with this lie. My father has been roped and dragged into this mess." This is a telling statement of Vidhie Mukherjea to India Today. A top story we're breaking at this hour. Shiv Arur joining us with more details on this. Now, Shiv, it's interesting because it's Vidhie's birthday today. And sources have told us that Indrani did try to reach out and make a phone call to Vidhie Mukherjea. But if one is to take the statement, then she is completely angry with Indrani. She blames Indrani for messing up. She also mentions that my father did not know about the murder of Sheena Bora, which is very crucial because now she says he would never try to instigate breakup of Sheena and Rahul, let alone participate in murder of Sheena.
You know, this is a three-page statement that Vidhie Mukherjea has put out. It's only on India Today and it's exclusively with this channel. And it's the first comprehensive statement that Vidhie Mukherjea has put out post Sheena's murder. And of course, in the light of these tapes coming out. Now, as you've rightly pointed out, the crux, the very heart of this letter is this statement from Vidhie Mukherjea is basically her defending her father, Peter Mukherjea, saying he's completely innocent, while at the same time putting the entire murder spotlight almost explicitly on her mother, Indrani Mukherjea. There's an operative part of this three-page statement that I want to read out for our viewers because this is where Vidhie Mukherjea is almost explicitly putting the onus directly on her mother, Indrani Mukherjea. Let me just read that part out. My father did not know about the murder of Sheena Bora. If so, he would not have stayed with my mother. She would have been convicted in 2012 itself. He would not have lived with this lie. My father has been roped and dragged into this mess. That one paragraph from this three-page letter tells you pretty much everything. It's a very emotionally charged statement that's been written by Vidhie Mukherjea and made exclusively available to India Today. And in it, she goes on a long defense of her father, saying that he was fooled into believing things about Sheena Bora, that Indrani Mukherjea lied to all of them, saying that Sheena and Mikhail were her siblings, not actually her children, that Peter never actually, had any problem with Rahul and Sheena's relationship. They were in fact engaged apparently to be married. She doesn't mention that in this statement, but that is already known and reported quite widely in the press. At this point, what we do know for a fact is that Vidhie Mukherjea, who's based in London and is a student there, is putting this statement out in the light of these tapes coming out. But it's also the first statement she's making since, her half-sister Sheena Bora's murder way back in 2012. And it's very, very significant. Peter and Indrani are currently lodged in jail. They've currently been lodged in jail for many months together since the entire story actually broke out. But this statement from Vidhie Mukherjea, and she is an interested party. She is a significant person in this entire saga. She's part of the family. She's a person who knew Sheena, personally. A person, she says in this letter, she got along very well with, and very, very significantly, she hangs Indrani out to dry while completely defending her father. She says Peter Mukherjea was an innocent party. He was oblivious of what was going on, but there was likely a conspiracy, and that the puppet master around this entire murder was her mother, Indrani Mukherjea.
Indrani is the mastermind, is what Vidhie is claiming in the statement to India Today. Shiv, thanks for joining us. Also saying good morning to Shuja Kantawala, who's an advocate, Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, and Virendra, who continue to be with us. But first up, let me take our viewers through that crucial questions being raised from the tapes that have been leaked. Has CBI taken these tapes into cognizance while framing charges against Indrani? Portions of the tapes have been taken. Did Peter know the truth about Sheena's disappearance as well? Other big question, did Peter try to divert his son Rahul from Sheena's search? And also, was Sheena's murder conspiracy that was hatched between Peter and Indrani? Questions are in public domain. You can hear these tapes for yourself and judge. Take a listen.
Yes, Sheena sent me a message when she left Taj Land's End, which was around 8:30 in the evening on the 24th. And that message was saying that she's on the way to Royal China for dinner. Right? And that's that. Love you, XX. And she basically just said, just left Taj Land's End on way to Royal China for dinner, XX. Now, I phoned up Royal China, and they were open on that night. They weren't closed. So something has changed the plan between Taj Land's End from heading towards Royal China, which is what Sheena obviously thought she was doing, and then now apparently she was dropped off at Amarsan's sort of an hour later, 9:30 or something. And there's just Papa, there's something going on. I'm sorry, this is not right. You know it as well, Anna. You know it.
Indrani, just while you called just now, and I told you I'll call you back, and the signal was bad and everything. So I was waiting, and Indrani said, listen, we drove past Royal China, it was shut. And if you want, you can go there and check if these people came in for dinner that night. Right?
They said that they went through their bookings list of the 24th for me, and they said there was no booking of Sheena or Indrani or Mukherjea or Bora, but they were definitely open. They had other guests there. They were not closed.
Right.
Because when we went into Taj, when we went into Taj, that time was emotion. Nothing.
When they went into Taj.
Let me tell him.
Yeah, one second.
I mean, you guys speak to the people from Royal China, no? They said they've been open.
No, I know. 1 second, darling. Just hold on a second, please.
Yeah. Rahul?
Hi.
Hi. Actually, listen, so that nobody is confused, I'm just giving you the sequence of events, okay? Sheena came at 6:30 to Amarsan's.
Yeah.
Okay, she bought a sari there. Okay, I bought her a sari because she wanted to buy a sari there. Okay. So we bought a sari there, and I'm sure I'll have the receipt already. You can go and ask her. She tried on 6-7 different saris. Okay.
Cool.
Out of that, she bought one sari, a new sari, brand new sari with 2 blouse pieces, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we went to a jeweler shop. Okay.
Yeah.
You post the jeweler shop. When you cross the jeweler shop, you cross. When you go whatever to Taj Land's End, you go past Royal China.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sheena told me that latest, and not in that, that I need to be back in front of Amarsan's by 9:15. I need to be back. Okay.
Right.
So at that point when we went, I said, fair enough. If we have time, because we were both hungry also. If we have time, we will eat. And your Royal China was shut at that point. Okay, so when we went, and I tried calling the Royal China number also, it was shut. Obviously because it was shut, nobody picked up. We went to Taj Land's End. When we left Taj Land's End, it was tentatively about, tentatively, I'm just giving all very, because I have not kind of checked and looked at the watch every minute or anything, okay?
Obviously.
Must have been, whatever, 9:45, probably 9:15, I'm not sure, but I was back home, okay? I was back home by 9:45. So from Amarsan's, whatever time it takes to reach home, it should not be more than half an hour, which is why I was asleep. Because I had a guest, Mikhail, who flew in from, I'm just giving you, who flew in from outside, okay? Who's a very dear friend of ours.
Yeah.
Now, this friend was waiting, because the house was locked, I'm giving you a little bit of a background, went to number 8, downstairs.
Yeah.
waited there. So I went there, got him, and then he came up, we got him, then he was there, he spent the night there at home.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just giving you a little bit of a background. Now, I didn't want to get into so much of detail.
Yeah.
So this is what the background to the Royal China thing is.
So it was closed or it wasn't closed? I didn't quite catch what you were saying.
Sorry? When we went in, it was shut. After that, I don't know. After that, it was already about 9 o'clock. She said, I have to leave.
Right. Okay.
When we went past, it was shut. Okay, so you can ask the Royal China guys what time they open. No, you'll get a sense of it, what time they open.
They must be
you can go and check with them.
Yeah.
Sorry?
They must be opening at around 6 or something, no? 6, half 6 for...
So ask them, no? Then you'll know what time they open, because we couldn't have crossed it before 6.
Yeah, well,
we would have crossed it at least by about 7:30. So why don't you give him a call, ask, and you get back to me, not tell me.
I got a message.
And then you can go.
Indrani, I got a message from Sheena at about 8:34, saying that she's just left Taj Land's End and she's on way to Royal China for dinner. So that's the impression.
Rahul, you have received a whole bunch of messages. You've received a whole bunch of messages. I'm not disputing that, okay? I'm not saying for once, but you cannot choose and pick. Only this message I want to believe. This message I don't want to believe. You can't do that.
I'm going through them one by one, trying to get out the information.
So what I want you to do, Rahul, 2 things I want you to do. I want you to check with Royal China what time do they open. When we went, it must have been, I'm just sensing, it must have been, say, around when we went to Taj, it must have been around 7:15, whatever. 6:30 she met me, let's say 7:15. Now ask them that were they shut or open. Just call them and ask them, what time do you open? The shutter was shut.
Sahil, Viren and Shuja Kantawala continue to be with us. Sahil, coming to you first now. This is a case that has been keenly followed for about a year. There have been many twists and turns, but how now the tapes have been released? Will the CBI be looking into the matter? You've told us earlier that CBI already have these tapes. Have all the tapes been taken into cognizance by CBI?
See, the operative part of these tapes have been taken into cognizance, which supports CBI's case against Peter Mukherjee. Basically, the CBI's case against Peter Mukherjee till now, the first charge sheet which they have filed is basically that Peter Mukherjee knew that what happened to Sheena. He deliberately was trying to avoid telling this to Rahul Mukherjee. He tried to hide it from Rahul Mukherjee. That's what the CBI's case is. But most important part in this case about the financial transactions or the motive behind this case, the financial motive behind this case, which CBI had time and again mentioned in the court while taking the remand of Peter Mukherjee, it is yet unable to be brought in open by CBI. CBI has requested court for a time for additional charge sheet, and today that's what the CBI has to tell the court whether they can go ahead with the trial or they are still going to file a supplementary charge sheet in this particular case. They are still under investigation, or they will be waiting for the investigation to complete for the trial to begin.
Okay.
Now, before that, Devina, they have also asked. They have also made the driver, the Shambar Rai, a prosecution witness, and most importantly, Shambar Rai has not mentioned anything regarding Peter Mukherjee in his statement. The statement which India Today had already run. The details of the statement was run by India Today first. That particular statement doesn't mention Peter Mukherjee, whereas this particular conversation, what we are running right now, clearly shows that Peter Mukherjee was trying to avoid. Now, the theory of Mumbai police was that Peter Mukherjee was just acting on behalf of Indrani, and he actually did not know anything about the whole murder because he was not present in Mumbai at that particular time. So they believed Peter's theory of being a pushover by Indrani Mukherjee, whereas CBI did not believe that particular theory and went ahead and arrested Peter Mukherjee in this particular case. So now
but Sahil, here is the point which we need to highlight for your viewers as well, because you had an alibi ready for Peter Mukherjee last year when this case broke out, but now the case also shifted because Mumbai police was initially investigating the case, then it was handed over to the CBI. It's been over a year, but no forward movement as such, except that Shambar Rai has turned an approver. But is that enough? Because motive yet now has not been established. Speculations are high that perhaps financial angle could have been involved. But if you look at these tapes, it's Rahul who's persistent. You have Peter and Indrani trying to brush the entire matter under the carpet. You have, in a normal case, perhaps a missing complaint would be lodged if Peter Mukherjee has not spoken to Sheena. He takes, according to him, as he's claimed, his wife's version on the face value. But when he tells Rahul, I spoke to Sheena, is that where he's completely caught in his lie?
Now, this is what the CBI needs to prove in front of the court when trial will begin, because it's been consistently by Peter Mukherjee's lawyers, and their argument ever since these conversations have been out is that yes, this conversation happened. Yes, Peter Mukherjee told Rahul Mukherjee that he spoke to Sheena Bora. Yes, he did speak to Sheena Bora, not Sheena Bora, but someone who was trying to portray herself as Sheena Bora, because he was speaking on Indrani Mukherjee's phone. Indrani just told her that Sheena is called and why don't you have a word with Sheena? And so what Peter's lawyers are trying to say is that he was being guided by Indrani Mukherjee in this particular thing. He did not go into any kind of investigation. He just believed what Indrani kept telling him, and that's why he kept lying to his son Rahul Mukherjee, and that's what Peter Mukherjee's argument or defense is in the court. Whereas CBI thinks that it's not the case. So now that is going to be very crucial. This will decide the course of the case. CBI has a witness against Indrani Mukherjee with them, but they have nothing against Peter Mukherjee other than these tapes.
Okay,
and if
fair
they could
enough.
unearth something in the financial transactions, which
Well,
is yet to be.
Well, Sahil, be with us because we have Shuja Kantawala who's joining us this morning. Mr. Kantawala, in your view, now that these tapes are in public domain, how solid is Peter's defense? Because as Sahil is pointing out, his lawyers have maintained that Peter was not in the know. He was just a puppet in Indrani's hands. But these tapes prove that Peter did lie to Rahul on his face in spite of repeated questions. Where do you think now his case stands?
These tapes and these conversations that you have been showing on your channel, they effectively nail the case, and it will be a prosecutor's delight because this kind of damning evidence is on record. Shorn of technicalities, these tapes are concrete evidence. But let me tell you this, Vidhie has tried as a return birthday gift, made a very feeble attempt, leaving her biological parents on one side and her stepfather, she is whole out going in support, which possibly may lead to the money trail, because who's paying the bills? The kid is in London holidaying and studying over there, so who's paying the bills? Possibly that angle, and now I feel that the CBI should take this very seriously.
Mr. Kantawala,
and
the
possibly even
statement that Vidhie
question
has
her.
made.
She may be an integral witness.
Okay, Mr. Kantawala, this is what Vidhie has said in her statement as well. She claims that there are claims that I have been partying on boats. I actually went on extremely low budget backpacking trip to South America. Regardless of what I do, how I behave and what I share on social media is my concern, no one else's. I will deal the situation my way. So is it fair to speculate on the financial angle given that Vidhie is in London? Is that a fair point to take this case ahead? Shouldn't the focus be on right now where the trial stands? There has been much delay. Even the trial has not started.
I have always maintained that there is a hidden hand. The money trail is what the CBI has to look into, because some hidden hand is guiding this entire thing. Otherwise, what was the point at this stage to bring out this kind of an explanation? And for the first time, she uses the word murder. Why should she use the word murder in her written statement? Who has drafted this written statement?
Mr.
This all has to
Kantawala,
be
be
gone
with us.
into.
Mr. Kantawala, be with us. We have Mikhail Bora, Sheena's brother, Vidhie's stepbrother, Indrani's son, who is joining us this morning. Mikhail, thanks for joining us. These tapes, no doubt, have raised many questions. Do they also confirm your claims that Peter and Indrani could have hatched the conspiracy to kill your sister together?
Yeah, I've seen the news yesterday, and yeah, I've heard the recordings also. So it's pretty much proved that they have conspired to kill my sister, and these tapes are, I think, hardcore evidence, and surely CBI is using it well.
Well, Mikhail, in one of the recordings, Indrani also refers to you. She says, while talking to Rahul, that we had a friend over. We had a friend who's a close family friend over, and she talks about you. She says that you were at Indrani's house that night. Can you take us through what you remember of that night?
I've already spoken to many channels before on this, and I've given the interview before on this also. So that day she called me, and I reached here around 8:30 in the evening, and that was like and she offered me a drink and all. That's it. And my drink was spiked, so I was feeling dizzy, and that's it.
And you tried to go out of the house also, is what you've claimed in your previous interviews, Mikhail.
Yeah. Because I got scared at that point, and because I went out of the house in the morning. Early morning, I took a flight to the hospital.
So, Mikhail, we have Rahul being persistently following Indrani and Peter when Sheena disappeared. When did you first suspect Sheena's disappearance? Did you also try and reach out to Indrani and Peter?
I was Indrani many times. She has told me the same story that she has gone to United States for further studies and all. And she herself doesn't want to contact me or any of her family members. So, and the last time she came to Guwahati in 2014, when my nani was not well, then I asked her many times, and there's the last point. She got angry and she went off and she stopped her financial helping also.
Mikhail, did Rahul also reach out to you? Did he ask you about Sheena's sudden disappearance?
I don't remember he calling me. No, and no, he didn't call me, I think. I don't remember actually.
And what about Vidhie? Because today morning Vidhie has defended Peter Mukherjea, saying that Peter was not in the know. She stands by her father.
Vidhie, actually.
There was not a single moment or an account where you also tried to reach out to Vidhie?
I never spoke to her. When she was the first time I met in Kolkata, and once I think in Mumbai, that's it. Never, after that I didn't have contact with Vidhie at all.
Well, Vidhie goes on to say, Mikhail, and I'm quoting from a statement what she's told us, my father did not know about the murder of Sheena Bora. If so, he would not have stayed with my mother. She would have been convicted in 2012 itself. Do you believe this statement?
No, after hearing the tapes yesterday, they have tried to cover up the whole thing. Because I've heard in one of the tapes, played by Times Now, that Peter has spoken to Sheena after her death. And that sounds pretty weird to me. Yeah. Of course, he knew about everything, I think.
Mikhail, obviously, the tapes have been played out here in India today, and I will try and get this question once more across to you, that is it possible that Rahul could have tried to reach out to you because he was searching for Sheena desperately? And when you knew that Sheena is not to be found, did you also try and contact Rahul or Vidhie, because that could have given you more clue?
No, I didn't have Rahul's number actually. And I tried, for my part, I asked many questions to Indrani where she is, why she's not contacting us and all. But she always replied that Sheena doesn't want to talk to you, she is in the United States and she wants to get settled there. That's it.
All right. Also, Mikhail, since the case has shifted from Mumbai Police to CBI, we're still awaiting the case goes to the trial stage. Do you believe now that tapes are in public domain, there would be more focus on fast-tracking the case?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Do you believe now the case would be fast-tracked? Do you believe there has been delay in the investigation so far? There's a delay in even getting the case to the trial stage. Do you believe that there could be a vested interest behind this delay?
No, I don't think it's delaying or something. CBI is investigating the thing properly, I think. And I have full trust on them, and surely every piece of evidence is important for them. That's why I think they're taking their time, and that's a good thing, I think.
All right, Mikhail, thanks for joining us on this news story that is breaking at this moment. So that is Mikhail Bora, who has completely said that he believes that Peter and Indrani were in the know. Mikhail Bora saying that Peter and Indrani hatched this conspiracy together. Mikhail Bora saying the tapes that have been released on India Today as well shows that Peter did know about the entire plot. He wasn't a puppet in Indrani's hand. He was, in fact, well aware of Sheena Bora's murder plot. We talk more about that, taking a very short break. Stay with us as we get into depth of the story. Almost a year after this shocking case of Sheena Bora murder came to light involving media tycoon Peter and Indrani Mukherjea, now there's a fresh twist because 20 tapes are out in the public domain which have conversations of Rahul with Peter and Indrani Mukherjea. This is of the time when Rahul was trying to search for his missing fiancée. Rahul believed that she is missing while Indrani and Peter try to convince him otherwise. Now, this is how the family tree looks like. Before we play out that excerpt of the tape, Indrani Mukherjea, first husband Siddhartha Das, then you have Sanjeev Khanna, Peter Mukherjea, who's the fourth husband. Before that, Indrani was with another person. Mikhail and Sheena were his kids, but Indrani always maintained that they are his siblings. Siddhartha Das was second husband, tea estate owner. Sanjeev Khanna, with him, she had a daughter, Vidhie, who's now been adopted by Peter Mukherjea. Peter Mukherjea has Rahul and Robin as their son. Rahul and Sheena were engaged to be married. And this is where it gets murkier, because Indrani always passed Sheena as her sister. So when this story came to light, the relationship was not approved by Indrani. Peter Mukherjea, as per daughter Vidhie's claim, who was adopted by Peter Mukherjea, supported Rahul's and Sheena's relationship. But on April 24th, 2012 is when Sheena went missing. We've just spoken to Mikhail, Sheena's biological brother, who claims that Peter and Indrani are behind the murder together. Here's another tape that we're rolling out for you this morning, which nails Peter's lies.
Yeah, Sheena sent me a message when she left Taj Land's End, which was around 8:30 in the evening on the 24th. And that message was saying that she's on the way to Royal China for dinner. Right? And that's that. Love you, XX. And she basically just said, just left Taj Land's End on way to Royal China for dinner, XX. Now, I phoned up Royal China, and they were open on that night. They weren't closed. So something has changed the plan between Taj Land's End from heading towards Royal China, which is what Sheena obviously thought she was doing. And then now apparently she was dropped off at Amarsan's sort of an hour later, 9:30 or something. And there's just, Papa, there's something going on. I'm sorry, this is not right. You know it as well. Anna, you know it.
Indrani, just while you called just now, and I told you I'll call you back, and the signal was bad and everything. So I was waiting, and Indrani said, listen, we drove past Royal China. It was shut. And if you want, you can go there and check if these people came in for dinner that night. Right?
They said that they went through their bookings list of the 24th for me, and they said there was no booking of Sheena or Indrani or Mukherjea or Bora, but they were definitely open. They had other guests there. They were not closed.
Right.
Because when we went into Taj, when we went into Taj, that time was Ocean.
When they went into Taj,
let me tell you.
Yeah, one second.
I mean, you guys speak to the people from Royal China, no? They said they've been open.
No, I know. 1 second, darling. Just hold on a second, please.
Yeah. Rahul?
Hi.
Hi. Actually, listen, so that nobody is confused, I'm just giving you the sequence of events, okay? Sheena came at 6:30 to Amarsan's.
Yeah.
Okay, she bought a sari there. Okay, I bought her a sari because she wanted to buy a sari there. Okay. So we bought a sari there, and I'm sure I'll have the receipt already. You can go and ask her. She tried on 6-7 different saris. Okay.
Cool.
Out of that, she bought one sari, a new sari, brand new sari with 2 blouse pieces, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we went to a jeweler shop. Okay.
Yeah.
Post the jeweler shop, when you cross the jeweler shop, you cross, when you go whatever to Taj Land's End, you go past Royal China.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sheena told me that latest, and not in that, that I need to be back in front of Amarsan's by 9:15. I need to be back, okay?
Right.
So at that point when we went, I said, fair enough, if we have time, because we were both hungry also. If we have time, we will eat, and your Royal China was shut at that point. Okay, so when we went, and I tried calling the Royal China number also, it was shut. Obviously because it was shut, nobody picked up. We went to Taj Land's End. When we left Taj Land's End, it was tentatively about, tentatively, I'm just giving all very, because I have not kind of checked and looked at the watch every minute or anything,
obviously.
Must have been, whatever, 9:45, probably 9:15, I'm not sure, but I was back home, okay? I was back home by 9:45. So from Amarsan's, whatever time it takes to reach home, it should not be more than half an hour, which is why I was because I had a guest, Mikhail, who flew in from, I'm just giving you, who flew in from outside, okay? Who's a very dear friend of ours.
Yeah.
Now, this friend was waiting, because the house was locked, I'm giving you a little bit of a background, went to number 8, downstairs.
Yeah.
waited there. So I went there, got him, and then he came up, we got him, then he was there, he spent the night there at home.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just giving you a little bit of a background. Now, I didn't want to get into so much of detail.
Yeah.
So this is what the background to the Royal China thing is.
So it was closed or it wasn't closed? I didn't quite catch what you were saying.
Sorry? When we went in, it was shut. After that, I don't know. After that, it was already about 9 o'clock. She said, I have to leave.
Right. Okay.
When we went past, it was shut. Okay, so you can ask the Royal China guys what time they open. No, you'll get a sense of it, what time they open.
They must be
you can go and check with them.
Yeah.
Sorry?
They must be opening at around 6 or something, no? 6, half 6 for...
So ask them, no? Then you'll know what time they open, because we couldn't have crossed it before 6.
Yeah, well,
we would have crossed it at least by about 7:30. So why don't you give him a call, ask, and you get back to me, not tell me.
I got a message.
And then you can go.
Indrani, I got a message from Sheena at about 8:34, saying that she's just left Taj Land's End and she's on way to Royal China for dinner. So that's the impression.
Rahul, you have received a whole bunch of messages. You've received a whole bunch of messages. I'm not disputing that, okay? I'm not saying for once, but you cannot choose and pick. Only this message I want to believe. This message I don't want to believe. You can't do that.
I'm going through them one by one, trying to, get out the information.
So what I want you to do, Rahul, 2 things I want you to do. I want you to check with Royal China what time do they open. When we went, it must have been, I'm just sensing, it must have been, say, around when we went to Taj, it must have been around 7:15, whatever. 6:30 she met me, let's say 7:15. Now ask them that were they shut or open. Just call them and ask them, what time do you open? The shutter was shut.
Yeah.
What time do you open your shutters? Now if they tell you that, yes, we open at 6 o'clock, then it's a different thing. Then, I must have imagined that if they say we open it at 7:30 or 8, then you know what I'm telling you is true, no?
Yeah, correct.
So will you call them and do that for me, please?
Yeah,
just check once.
Of course.
Yeah, call them and do that, no? And then you also find out, no, that the 2 women come. They'll give you a full listing, there'll be receipts, there'll be this thing, there's cameras, for God's sake, they'll see us there.
Yeah, well, they don't have cameras, but they said, they have booking information and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it can't be possible that 2 of us go there and nobody sees us, no?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you first do that, Rahul. I want you to first call, find out. I don't know what time it opens, and call me back. Call me.
If I am to believe that if her message was genuine, right? If her message was genuine, and she's heading to Royal China for dinner, then something in between 8:34 and 9:15 her plan has changed, right?
Listen, if the message is genuine, if Royal China was genuinely open, okay?
Yeah.
When we went in, I am not kind of, just cooking this up to tell you, when we went, it was shut, okay? I also tried calling that number. I called my secretary for the number. I tried calling in case they pick it up or whatever. Nobody picked up, and then we went, and then by about, we must have actually left Taj only by about probably 9 o'clock or so, not even before that. So, if I remember correctly, I don't know what time she sent you a message or all that. I don't know about what messages she's been constantly on the phone. Okay, even when she was talking to me, she was on the phone. So it wasn't like she was not on the phone.
She was not on the phone.
She was constantly... It was not that she was not on the phone. She was constantly on the phone on SMSs and all. So I don't know whom she was, whether she was SMSing you, whether she was SMSing someone else. I don't know all that, no? So you just check on this, that what time do they open the shutters. Just ask them that.
Yeah. So
then you will know that if they say, okay, we open the shutters at 7:30, then you know that I'm speaking the truth, no?
So hang on, what time did you go past Royal China?
I don't know, probably 6:30 you dropped her.
That's
then we went, she looked around, got some sarees from Amar's Sons, and then we went from there. We went past Royal China, went to this place near Moti Mahal.
She looked around, she checked out 6 sarees, and she bought
a saree.
She tried on 5 or 6 sarees, and she bought one.
Oh, yes.
And she had 2 blouses
about
also.
3, 4 sarees.
Okay, 3, 4. So that would have taken...
No, blouses, they come with the sarees. I don't have minute details, Rahul. I don't have everything, because I have not been sitting there.
I'm just trying to think how long I'm just trying to
So I need to keep account,
I'm just trying to think how long it takes to try on 3 or 4, 5 sarees, whatever. Okay, and then the time span. I have to work it out.
There were people who Rahul, listen to me. Why don't you do one thing? You know, she must have SMS'd you when we went to Taj Lands and also. So you check what time we were at Taj Lands and you know.
Well, I mean, the message was at 8:34. She said she's on the way to...
Yeah.
On the way to...
Obviously, we must have from Taj Lands. No, we must have been at Taj Lands at some time, no?
Yeah, you must have been there before.
And sent you a message.
Indrani, there's no point giving silly examples. No, I'm trying to find out.
If you're trying to tell me, listen, if you're trying to tell me, Rahul, that I don't know about Sheena's disappearance. Let me tell you that.
Okay.
You have to believe me what I'm telling you. You have a choice of believing or not believing. And I can only tell you what is true, not what you want to hear. Okay, I am giving you the exact sequence of events, whatever. I don't know whether she reached at 6:15 or 6:30. As per her message, she reached at 6:15. Okay, as per her message to me.
Okay.
Okay, so if she has reached at 6:15, she tried on about 3-4 saris, which these guys, help them tie. Okay.
Yeah.
Which don't take more than each sari doesn't take more than 2 minutes to try.
It's okay. Anyway, I know how long it takes once you put on the sari and try.
Supposing it takes 15 minutes, okay? Amar Sons also has cameras. They will show you what time we went in, what time we came out. You will get to know everything, Rahul.
Yeah.
So it is not, then we went to a jeweler shop. After we went to a jeweler shop, the jeweler shop will have cameras, no?
Okay. Which jeweler shop?
I told you, the Natundas, which is opposite Moti Mahal.
Okay,
Now, on our way from Amar Sons to Natundas, we saw that this Royal China was shut, okay? And then because when we crossed, that time she said, let's book in Royal China, but I have to be back here by 9:15.
Okay.
That is why the 9:15 thing stuck in my head. Okay? That is why the 9:15 figure stuck in my head.
So she was dropped off at about 9:15 at Amar Sons with all her jewelry and all her, her saris.
She was not wearing any jewelry. Nobody bought any jewelry. She went to see jewelry.
Okay. Sorry, my mistake.
She just bought a sari. She just bought a sari. She just had a sari. That's all.
Okay.
Which was in a packet.
Okay, cool. Let me sort of do my checking and all, and I'll get back to you if I have to.
Yeah, you please do your checking so that you are rest assured, and you please find out what time, because when both of us, we categorically saw the shutter was down. Okay, now I cannot give you an exact count on whether we left Amar Sons at 6:45 or whether we left Amar Sons at 7 o'clock. But around that time, assuming it took us half an hour, I'm taking half an hour. Let's say we were there in Amar Sons for half an hour. Okay. In half an hour, it wouldn't be more than 6:45. So 6:45 when we left, this one was shut. So you check with them once and you please call me back so that for my own, because, I don't want you to sit there and, just keep thinking of ideas that I'm hiding something from you, because I'm not. I cannot give you any more information.
I'm not thinking anything yet. I'm trying to find out what what to think about this thing.
And the last, like I said, Sheena had dropped Sheena at 9:50, or it could be 9:30, but I'm giving you the exact sequence of events to you. From Amar Sons, we went past Royal China, the shutter was down. Then we went to Natundas. Okay, I'm giving you the jeweler's name, Natundas. He looked at some rings and all that there. And then from there, we went to Taj Lands End. She had one Long Island iced tea and one margarita. I had 2 margaritas. There will be a time also when we take the bill. Okay, I'm not carrying the bill, but they will, Taj has cameras. So they'll see what time we went in and what time we came out, no?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and in Royal China it is not possible. Nobody will, if I stand there or, that nobody has seen me in Royal China, that is also not possible, no?
Correct.
One second. Papa wants to speak to you.
Hello. Yeah, now listen. You do all the investigation you need to do. I think Indrani's told you what she knows, where she's been, what the sequence of events is, right? And where she dropped Sheena. Okay. Yeah. After that, neither have you heard from her in terms of physically heard from her. You've had messages. We've had messages.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'm saying you had messages the following morning, etc.
Yeah.
And Indrani's last message was at approximately 10 o'clock at night. Right? And that's the extent of it.
Yeah.
Now, if after this you want to go find out where she is, whatever, you please do so.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't give you any more information. I don't think Indrani can either.
Okay.
But I can only say to you that I think she's fine.
Okay.
Now, you want to go and ferreting away, that's absolutely fine. It's your call.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm at a loss, so I kind of have to. It's not like an option I have really.
Yeah, then you do so now. I mean, you can go to Royal China, go parading around in the Taj, go into the jeweler shop, go into the Amasan sari shop, see whether what is being said to you is accurate or not, and then you should do it. You know, do it, sell it for yourself. So nobody's selling pokey pies.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there are 19 other tapes like that. We'll release all of them here on India Today. Indrani's desperate cover-up quite evident. She's speaking, then she hands over the phone to Peter, both trying to convince Rahul, who is increasingly getting suspicious of what happened that day. Their defense not cutting eyes with Rahul, the lone fighter, to find his fiancée, Sheena Bora. We talk more about that. Taking a very short break is the Sheena tapes. That's a big focus this morning here in the newsroom. And it's an exclusive from India Today because we've been able to access Sheena's stepsister, Vidhie's statement. Now, this is what Vidhie has said. Now, Vidhie is a biological daughter of Indrani, later adopted by Peter Mukherjea, but she stands by her father. She says that her father was not in the know. She says, my father has never been against Sheena and Rahul's relationship. In fact, he's always been for it. He would never try to instigate their breakup, let alone participate in the murder of Sheena to destroy it. And my father did not know about the murder of Sheena Bora. Shuja Kantawala continues to be with us. Let's take Vidhie's statement also, and Shuja Kantawala with that. Mr. Kantawala, this is what a daughter is saying in defense of her stepfather, and this is what her daughter is saying in angst of her mother, because she continues to maintain that Indrani is the mastermind. She says it is a murder of Sheena Bora, my step sister, but my father should be absolved of it. It is an emotional plea, but does it cut eyes legally?
Her own biological father is one of the main accused in the case. Now listen, a cold-blooded murder has taken place. There is clear manipulation and well planning. The planning must have been taken much in advance and everything was set. Now if you see, the court always observes the demeanor of a witness, the conduct of a witness. Judicial notice is always taken in proceedings, especially in criminal trials, how a witness is reacting in court. If the tapes are heard carefully, there are tremors in the voice of both Peter and Indrani. Each one is supporting each other in the theories. And too much explanation. Why give so much information? She wore this sari, 15 minutes, Royal China, you go and check what time they open. Too much information, too much explanation. So this demeanor, in fact, exposes and strengthens the CBI case, and I'm happy for the prosecutor of the CBI because he must be jumping with excitement. All he has to do is prove that the tapes, and that's it, the conviction goes in. Because the more and more they try to improve on their innocence in advance through these tapes, Rahul was going into it, and Rahul was Sheena's fiancé. He was deeply in love with her. He was probing very carefully, and kudos to Rahul to maintain his composure, because his one-track mind was, he was suspecting that Indrani and Peter had something to do with this whole thing.
Absolutely. Mr. Kantawala, thank you for joining us. We keep coming back to you because this particular case is just going to grow even bigger, because now there are key questions out. First up, these are tapes that Rahul has recorded. These are conversations that he has recorded with Peter and Indrani. So will Rahul be once again called by the CBI authorities who are questioning this? What about Mikhail Bora? Because he's another crucial angle in the entire case. Will his statement be recorded again? And Peter and Indrani Mukherjea, were they in collusion? Because Peter so far has maintained he was just acting out of love for Indrani. He has nothing to do with Sheena Bora's murder. We talk more about that as Vidhie's statement stirs up this controversy.